Welcome to another video on Cliff Pickleball. I'm Dave, and today we're going to talk about the grip, which I think is a very, very important part of pickleball. Let's talk about hand placement first. There's a few ways that you can place your hand on the paddle. Now, typically, you'll see tennis players migrating to pickleball will have the paddle all the way up there, and that just creates the most power, most spin, most reach, but you're going to give up a little bit of control. Also, if you have a double backhand, this is a great way to hold the paddle, but just remember your hands are going to be a little slower, and you're going to lose a little bit of control when you are dinking. Then you can see, and typically you'll see guys like Tyson McGuffin, Ben Johns, and most of the tennis guys, ex-tennis guys, they have the paddle right there, you know, for and kind of like you would hold a tennis racket as well. Then we have, if you look at Zane Navratil, the hand is closer to the paddle face, so right about there. So it gives you a nice balance of power and control. And then you have guys that have the hand right up against the paddle face, typically taking the finger and put it up there. Rob Cassidy and Callan Dawson comes to mind. Very fast hands at the kitchen, and they can dink forever. So maximum control, but you are going to lose power and spin with this grip. So you can kind of experiment with these grips and see what works the best for your style of play. If you have a double backhand, I would also suggest you have the finger up there, and this is how you're going to control the paddle. Right, and that is basically the different hand placements on the paddle grip. Right, next we're going to look at the different grips, and there's basically three grips, main grips, and that's going to be the continental grip, the eastern grip, and the western grip. Now, the western grip is the grip that you typically see in tennis. So this four-finger knuckle is right there, and you'll see that not a lot of players play with that grip. It's mainly a tennis grip, but Riley Newman uses his grip with great effect. He's obviously got the double backhand because, you know, using a western grip with a backhand is very tough because you've got so much angle. The only other guy that I see use it is Ben Johns when he stretches out wide on the backhand and he flicks it cross court. And then also, typically, if you play on the right-hand side, like Colin Johns, you'll see sometimes he uses a western grip to basically punch, you know, do the scorpion or the pancake, and you know, counter any offensive shots with his forehand. You'll also see that probably the best guy in pickleball at countering a middle attack is going to be Riley Newman because of this grip, because he can basically defend and counter any shot down from his hip, below his waist, all the way across to his left shoulder. Right, then the other grip that's very popular is the Eastern grip. Most of the pros play with the Eastern grip, and it's a great grip, especially on the baseline for, you know, serving, creating topspin on the drives, and you know, topspin dinking, and then also on the backhand, you know, if you want to float it, if you want to float your return in to get to the kitchen, the Eastern grip is going to add that angle to float the ball and get you buy yourself more time. The other thing is when you are resetting, if you're in no man's land or in a transition zone, the Eastern grip is also a great grip to use, because again, it just, for the resets, the Eastern grip is going to get you that angle on the backhand to help you, you know, take the speed away. And again, the forehand finger is going to be just on this little edge of the paddle. And Morgan Evans has a great way of explaining it. It's just like taking your hand on the face of the paddle, sliding it down, and that's going to be your Eastern grip. And that's the grip that I would recommend you do use if you're on the baseline and you're working yourself to the kitchen. Once at the kitchen, I like the continental grip. And the continental grip, again, using Morgan Evans's explanation, is just taking your hand, instead of down the face, you're going to be on the edge down, and that's going to be your continental grip. So this is the best grip to use at the kitchen, because it's going to flatten out your dinks, and it's going to help you at the forehand to basically make sure that you can get those wide dinks back to the middle. And also, if you like to slice your dinks on the backhand, it's going to keep it nice and low. I also use the continental grip when I'm in the baseline and I'm returning a serve. If I do see somebody has issues with their third shot drops, I will use a continental grip to keep the ball nice and low and have a flat, high spinning shot to that player. If we're stacking and I need to there's a lot of movement required to get to the kitchen line, I'll use my Eastern grip to kind of float the ball and get a higher trajectory and get myself to the kitchen. Also, the continental grip is great in hand battles because it allows you to get the ball down to the feet. So typically, I like to favor my backhand in a firefight. So I would make sure that I'm shifting to the right and basically making sure that I cover a wide area with this continental grip. Right, so I would suggest, a lot of players play with just single grip. I think it's more beneficial to be able to change your grip. It also instills a sense of having light grip pressure, because if you do grip the paddle really tight, it's going to be tough to change the grip. So I have a light grip pressure, and I use my left hand on the throat to kind of help me change my grip depending on the situation that I'm at. That also helps me keep my stroke nice and short and compact, and allows for as little movement of the wrist as possible. Right, so those are basically my thoughts on the hand placement and the grip. Like I said, experiment with it. I think what I've seen, most players do not use the continental grip at the kitchen, and I think that is by far the best grip to use at the kitchen. So even if you're a tennis player, you have the Eastern grip, you drive the ball. Once you get to the kitchen line, try to use the continental grip. It's so great for just push. When you are taking dinks out of the air, when you're hitting push dinks, or if you want to slice the ball, it just requires less bending of the knees. With the Eastern grip, you really have to get low, and you have to have a lot of on movement, great movement. Where the continental grip is going to allow you to be more stationary, if I can put it that way, to dink. So thanks for watching, and just give us a comment and tell us what you think about it, and tell us what grip do you use when you're playing pickleball.